Hello, I am Orange Cat, and this is my analysis of Toonami's ratings for this past Saturday, September 15th, 2018. As you can see, this is a short snippet here of the lineup and how they performed. In general, they look pretty good, especially the top half of the lineup. You have My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, Attack on Titan, Fooly Cooly, all really going up quite a few hundreds, which is especially important because those are probably the bigger investments Adult Swim has on the block. Is notable, especially Dragon Ball, which had been really slumping recently, finally getting back to the midpoint threes, and that's something you'd really like to see from the ratings for the show. And of course, the biggest investment being Fooly Cooly Alternative. Disappointing ratings its first week, especially considering that its streaming numbers aren't quite holding with what Progressive did, which I'll admit were amazing numbers Progressive did in streaming. And it's really important to see at least improve its ratings for the here being, considering that is the biggest investment and you really need to get that money back if you're William Street. The middle of the block really didn't impress at all, though. Pop Team Epic never really did well in the ratings. It didn't move. It's steady this week. And then JoJo, really after the end of Stardust Crusaders and getting to Diamond is Unbreakable, really never really doing well, hasn't really done well in the ratings. This, you can very well argue it's because of its placement after Pop Team Epic. Hunter x Hunter did okay. It lost total viewers. It stayed at the same rating as the previous two shows, and then you have Black Clover, which did very well this week, really making that case for why it deserved to be moved ahead of Hunter x Hunter for the new schedule, which will start, I believe, not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards. Shippuden did alright, had a small increase. One Punch Man definitely did alright. But Lupin and Cowboy Bebop didn't really improve this week. They stayed towards the low numbers they've been having. But at the same time, I mean, those are on at 3 in the morning. You can't be expecting too many people to be up and watching at that point. So, I'll say, though, like I said again, pretty decent week. Toonami, both, they don't show it here, but if you look at the total viewers, especially for something like Dragon Ball Z and Fooly Cooly, didn't really go up much. So I guess the total rating share increasing was a result of the fact that there were fewer people watching TV at the time in total, but Toonami being a very devout block, very devout fan base, all just stuck to the channel, stuck to watching the block, which really, again, said is a really good sign for Toonami that you have very little bleeding, you have a diehard fan base. Like, there's a lot of people, if you're watching My Hero Academia, you're staying through at least until the end of Alternative, which is, again, of course, great retention, an issue that a lot of networks, especially cable networks, historically have had, but Toonami doesn't have, which is something you really want to see, which is why Toonami, I think, is one of the reasons why they're able to get extended to the 9 o'clock hour, something a lot of people thought never dreamed of a few years ago, and why, and relative to cable, of course, no, it's, you have to be living under a rock recently to not notice how cable's been dropping off. There's cable cutting everywhere. But Toonami, although Toonami's numbers have, of course, dropped over time, they're dropping slower than the average cable ratings, which, again, is a good boon for Adult Swim, something that William Street really likes seeing. And William Street, in general, is, I guess, rewarding the block. But it also helps, too, that Viacom bought out King of the Hill and Cleveland show, so fewer syndicated programs for William Street. So improvising on Saturday nights, because let's be honest, we don't want to see rerun after rerun of Rick and Morty, a show of 30 episodes or so over and over again. So that was a creative way they did to alleviate that issue, and especially bringing back Dragon Ball Z Kai, a generally very loved part of the Dragon Ball Z franchise. And I think they have a lot of potential for the future to really keep these numbers and to hold them, especially when you have something like My Hero Academia that they had to pay a lot of money just for the rights to air, and Fooly Cooly, which, I mean, considering that I think they went 50-50 on it, I mean, they spent a lot of money investing in it, so they really need to see these high ratings. They really need to see high streaming. And I think these ratings are showing that there's at least some promise in the future with regards to that. So that is really all for now. I am Orange Cat, and that is all.